Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony,
I'm Carla Marie.
and this is the show. Say good morning, everybody. Pikachu. Thank you. There we go. A couple things we're going to talk about. Right off the bat, we're going to get into Anthony's vagina medicine. I'm Anthony. He is me. And yes, it says vagina medicine. You look great in the wild. Wild G in the wild. And could you be the third wheel? Now, the could you be the third wheel thing, we are going to need you to call. Okay. Yeah, no, I said vagina medicine. And it should have come up in today's notification, too, if you get the notification from Twitch.
I did.
So, would you like to bring Exhibit A onto the camera, Carla Marie?
Well,
onto the set.
I'll be honest, I did notice this last week, but just thought you had some of my stuff in here for I don't know. We were sitting here about to start the show, and I look over, and I'm like, why do you have these in here? And it's the AZO tablets, the, cranberry tablets that you either take to prevent UTIs or when you get UTIs.
Yeah. So Carla Marie sits down today and she says, "Why are you taking UTI medication?"
He said, I'm not.
And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not taking UTI medication." And she grabs these. And I said, "Carla Marie, those are nasal decongestants." And she said, "No, I take these when I have UTIs." And I had to point out to Carla Marie that her UTI medication is in a nasal decongestant box.
Well, there were nasal decongestant ones in there, too. You went through all those. You didn't notice that they were different pills?
Look at the pills on the box.
No.
Look at the pills on the box. They look identical. They are the same. Identical. You ever see My Cousin Vinny?
I don't remember that.
They're in court and he goes, identical. They're the same ones. That pill, the nasal decongestant pill, looks exactly like these little red pills.
That's fair. The medicine cabinet's a little bit of a mess.
So maybe
Well,
someone should be putting medication back in the right spot.
But now you are so clean in there. Your urinary tract.
My vagina was clean before.
You have a urinary tract.
I do. It doesn't get infected, though.
Well, it won't now.
It shouldn't. Do me a favor. Move to your right a little bit. I feel like I'm halfway on the screen here. No, like your whole thing, everything. Move it over. Keep going.
No, that's too far.
Carla Marie, just move over. But and this is actually like a seriously concerning thing.
It is. I'll make sure everything is in the right spot.
Thankfully, it was only, I guess I was trying to flush out my nose and I flushed out my urinary tract instead. Yeah, the camera's been flashing today for some reason. So if we get cut off, we'll just call it a day. I mean, I started finding out that I was taking urinary tract medication, so it's not like this day is going to get much worse.
Was that Jen or Lisa? Lisa said, "I don't think I've heard Anthony say vagina so many times before. I am proud of you for saying it."
What else was I supposed to say?
You never used to be able to say it.
What?
Period.
First off, I can say both of those words, period, vagina. Like, they're not hard words to say. And Angela, what you did miss was that I've been taking what I thought were nasal decongestant pills, but turned out to be urinary tract pills because Carla Marie tracked. It's not like a racetrack?
No, which makes sense, but it's not.
It's tracked.
Tracked.
That sounds stupid.
It's tracked.
But it's a track. It follows a path, right? Or a track, some might say. Either way, make sure you know what medicine you're taking.
I know. I could use some nasal decongestant today.
Oh, well, here. Have some, Carla Marie. There are still some in this nasal decongestant box.
Vicky's right. You didn't notice you weren't getting...
No, I get bad sinus infections.
But you didn't notice it was going away?
I think it actually was going away a little bit, just by default.
Well, maybe we discovered something.
I think just by default and blowing my nose and taking care of myself, it was going away. Or everything was just being flushed out of my system. I don't know how a nasal decongestant works. Or a urinary tract. And do they work the same way? They just make your body get rid of everything? Or the placebo effect? Good point, Tom. Yeah, I think you discovered you need to clean the medicine
It's
cabinet,
funny because I just did.
says Camille in New Jersey, and that's probably how this started. It's probably how the whole snafu started. Can you grab me that can, Carla Marie? So if we hit the hype train today, we are going to be having another ready-to-drink cocktail. Why can't I speak? It's probably the mixed-up medication I've been taking. From 503 Breweries, 503 Distilleries, Marion Berry Margarita, which should be interesting. Canned margaritas are actually usually pretty good in terms of the
Marion
canned
Berry's
cocktails,
interesting,
but
though.
yeah, Marion Berry will be interesting. And it's not Mary and Berry.
Marion, show them. It's a type
Marion.
of berry. You don't get it in New Jersey.
Marion Berry Margarita. What?
It hurt for some reason.
Well, maybe it's because you need nasal decongestant.
Well, I did see Shayna say that she is the first time she's had a cold and forgot what it's like to have a cold in years.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to do a virtual appointment with Dr. A today because it's just, I can wait it out 5 days or just get a medication that's going to.
Also, because your job, not that we have real jobs, but your income relies on your voice.
And just having energy.
I remember Elvis used to have, Jen and Lisa, thank you very much to both of you for the gifted tier 1 subs to the community. I remember Elvis used to have like a special voice doctor in New York, and this voice doctor worked with everyone on Broadway, basically, and he was the guy you called if you needed to have your voice like the next day and you had lost it. And he had like a special product that you could only get from this guy.
This.
And from what I remember, it was a little bottle that was dressed up like a tuxedo.
I vaguely remember this.
And it was like a throat spray.
A spray, yeah.
But it was very specific to that doctor, I think.
It's Chill Will, first time chat, and
What
they were
up?
thanking Airy Saucy for the sub. That's awesome.
That's how it works. People jump in the chat, people start to follow, and someone gifts you a sub. Now, with your sub, you can do two things. You can use all of the emotes that we have available to you. And if you subscribe to this channel, you can watch on demand on Twitch. If you don't subscribe to this channel and you miss something, you do have to go to YouTube. That's how we have added some nice things for the people who subscribe.
But I think we hit our sub goal.
We did. 500 was our sub goal for the month, and we have hit that already. So maybe we should just drink for that.
We definitely should drink.
All right, Carla Marie. Grab that can of Mary and Berry.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to be able to taste it.
Because you're congested?
I can't taste or smell anything, which I went.
Do I get to use the gold
No.
chalice?
I went, you should probably take a COVID test. I was like, are you kidding me? And then I did not have COVID test. That was nice.
So I don't get to drink out of the chalice? You can't even taste. Why do you get the gold chalice?
Did you just touch this?
I did, yeah. I also touched it because I had to put it away
Your
originally.
vagina hands off of me. I got this at the Love is Blind event. Ooh.
Oh, we're in Hype Train level 4, so we may as well see if we hit Hype Train level 5 today.
All of Netflix dating shows use these cups.
Which is pretty brilliant because it allows the contestant, A, to drink whatever they want. Like, let's say it's just water, they can do that. But also, I would imagine for editing purposes, it makes things a lot easier.
On the producer.
Yeah.
Harder on the contestant.
What do you mean?
Because then they can make you say something much later in the night, much earlier in the night.
But for editing, for continuity purposes, it would make a lot of sense if you didn't see the level of their cup or what was in it. Do they do that on most shows or just Netflix?
No, because on The Bachelor, yes, you see them drinking, but they don't, not in confessionals, it's only in group settings most times where they're cheersing. They don't normally show them drinking in any other instance. If you notice that when you're watching Bachelor, Bachelorette, you see cheers, sip, and then that's it.
Well, didn't they have to really tone down the drinking after they shut down the show for Bachelor in Paradise for a while? Was it Bachelor in Paradise that got shut down?
Yes.
Because people were hooking up in the pool or something. The hype train. It's weird that it says the hype train started a minute ago, but we're already in level 4.
Well, I don't know why that happened. Apparently, Marion Barry was the mayor of D.C. at some point. People keep saying that.
I vaguely remember that, actually.
What happened with Evan?
Huh?
Remember Evan thought we were saying Mary and Barry?
I don't remember this.
He was interviewing a local restaurant.
Oh
No,
no,
that
it
was
was
Cherie's.
it was the pie.
It was Mary and Berry Pie, but he kept calling the restaurant Cherie's, and it was Sherry's. And then he said Mary and Berry Pie.
I mean, I get it though. If you just hear someone say, if not looking at the word, it sounds like Mary and Berry or Mary and Berry.
That woman definitely thought she was being punked.
Maybe. Wardo, thank you very much for the 200 bits. Appreciate that. We also had Felipe from Miami, Florida, Anna Hernandez, all subbing. So thank you very much. Erica P31, 100 bits there. Other things we're going to talk about though. You look great in the wild. And could you be the third wheel? And we will need some calls for that one. And there's no right or wrong answer to that one, so don't be afraid to call. And we won't say your name first if you would want to remain anonymous for whatever reason. Make sure the phone number is ready to go. It is ready to go. 201-305-0894. But we're not there yet. Just letting you know.
Are we drinking this or what?
Yeah, let's do it. I guess we hit the sub goal already, so we
Yeah.
don't need to hit Hype Train level 5.
I haven't drank out of this yet. Well, I drank out of a gold cup at the bar, but not.
Kim from Connecticut, thank you very much for the 200 bits. Carla Marie, cheers to you. Cheers to everyone who's supported the stream so far this month. And cheers to Seattle Cocktail Club and 503 Distilling.
I actually taste that. And it's good.
It is
It says
what?
Mary and berries and lime. That's interesting because it's a margarita, but
Yeah, I think
I'm
like
saying I would never think to mix them.
but it's like a very berry margarita. It's very good. It's very good, if you will. This is delicious, actually. And the reason we're doing these ready-to-drink cocktails is because Seattle Cocktail Club is going to be doing their RTD awards coming up.
Ready to drink.
They're ready to, so it's all canned or bottled, like pre-made cocktails, and that's coming up. So we will be drinking canned or bottled cocktails
I'm very
until
excited.
that happens. What are you taking a picture of?
It's Meg Not Megan said, by the way, I've made a few margs with 21 seeds, and man, that stuff is so good. I want to send it over to them
It
because
is
that's
very
so
good.
cool.
It is very, very good, and hopefully they appreciate that because they were our partner last week. It is always good when. Who was I talking to recently? Oh, I was talking to my friend Mitch, and he was talking about how a lot of the partnerships that we do seem very organic and seem very natural. And I said one of the reasons that is so is because we do actually care about the people that we partner with. And the last thing that I would want is to promote something or partner with something that that either of us don't believe in or use in some capacity, because then it dilutes the trust you have for us.
Dilutes.
What did I say?
It dilutes.
Oh, did I? Dilutes. I'm also a little stuffed up.
But it's true. I completely agree with you that we've always kind of made sure that we work with brands that we would use ourselves or do use ourselves.
This is actually cool. So Martha said, love 21 Seeds. Mikey and I have made a marg almost every night. Fred said he found it at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati.
The heck is that?
Which sounds like a fantastic place. I need to go to Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati. I wonder if they have like a really good Bengals pregame thing going on at Jungle Gyms.
Oh, I was thinking like it was going to be a fun place you can go swing on things and have some cocktails.
And then Erica P said, I got my 21 Seeds orange so I wouldn't have to always mix something.
So nice.
There you go.
Wait, should we invent that?
What?
Like a Ninja Warrior gym that has a bar?
We could.
But that's dangerous.
It seems like a liability. It does. I think maybe something like laser tag.
No, but that's a liability. People do that stupid mud race.
Yeah. I think adding alcohol makes it more dangerous. How much was 21? Oh, how much was 21 Seeds for everyone? I don't know tequila, so I thought $28 was average, but I saw it's $35 on their site. That's a good
Probably
question.
cheaper in store.
But I think that 25 to 40 is kind of the average.
For decent alcohol.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. We talked about vagina medicine. We had our 503 Distilling Marion Berry Margarita.
And we completed the hype train at level 4. Sorry.
Okay. It's good enough. Listen, we hit level 9 or whatever it
87.
was yesterday. So I think we're good. And we hit our our sub goal for the month. You look great in the wild.
What
So
happened?
this was on Thursday, I believe it was. I didn't even tell you this, Carla Marie. I went to the gym,
Yeah.
and right when I was going to go warm up, this woman who I've seen there for years, but I've never, other than maybe asking her if she was done with a piece of equipment, never said a word to her. And I had noticed she was using two pieces. She was using a piece of equipment and like the grass area where you could push the sled, which sometimes I stretch on. So I was trying to make sure she was done with the grass area. So I like did the, hey, you done here? Did one of those moves.
Yeah.
And she does this. She's like, come here. So I was like, this is weird. Okay. So I go over and she says, I just wanted you to know that I used you as an example to one of my students last week. Again, I've never said a word to this woman in my life. So I said, what are you talking
Did
about?
you say because I'm so strong?
No, she said she's she works in some sort of like child psychology, child development field.
Okay.
And she was trying to explain to the student how sometimes it's okay to make conversations and compliments about someone else, basically. I don't know the full scenario,
Right.
but she was trying to explain it to me. And she was using "Are You Look Great" shirts
What?
as an example. She said there's a guy at the gym who wears a shirt that says "You look great," and it's about everybody else that he sees, and it makes the people that see him feel feel special. And I've never said a word to
That's
this
crazy.
woman before in my life. So I told her that I'd bring some stickers if we still have them to the
Yeah.
gym. I usually have them in my
What
bag. And I
size
just
is
didn't.
she?
I don't know. She's tall. So large, medium. I don't know. I don't know what like
She
women.
can still be a small and be tall. Though
I don't know.
I'm in my medium era. I've moved on.
What do you mean?
Everything's a medium for me now.
Okay.
I just can't do the smallest look.
Erica P31 said there
That's so
she's
cool.
we're wearing ours to the airport tomorrow, Florida, Connecticut. I do love when people wear them to airports.
It's so cool though that she
But then it didn't
she
stop
like
there.
knew.
Yeah. It didn't stop there though. Then I see this girl who I used to see at the gym all the time, and then she like disappeared. But before she disappeared, she was working at the little stand in the gym for a little bit, like where you could buy energy drinks and protein shakes. And one day she had mentioned she loves seeing the shirt. Like
This
reading
is a different person.
different
sorry.
person, totally
Okay.
different person.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next day this is when I had stickers in my bag. So the next day I gave her one of the stickers. Then she disappeared. Never saw her again. And I was at the deadlift area last week, and all of a sudden I see this person walking by me like this. I was like, is someone filming me? This is super weird. And then I realized she came back to the gym and put the sticker on her phone.
How come this happens when I'm not at LA Fitness in Ballard?
Actually, you'll appreciate this because the first woman I talked to, the woman who works with children in some capacity, she was like, I actually saw some blonde girl wearing it here last week. So she noticed you too, Carla Marie. So you're the random blonde girl that showed up.
I wonder what people think of me at the gym. Oh, there's that blonde girl wearing the "You Look Great" shirt now too.
Yeah, they're probably like, she must be a groupie.
Oh, I need to post a video. We both wore the same shirt to the gym and didn't know because we had sweatshirts on.
Yeah.
And I see Anthony from across the gym and he's looking at me going, and I'm like, what? And then I look down, I look at him, and I'm like, oh. So I got a video of it.
Yeah, it was not great. Martha said she makes her whole family wear "You Look Great" gear when they travel. And I think we said this when we launched the Neon. If you're going to travel with your family and go to a place like Disney,
Yeah, the neon's
somewhere,
great. We
the
did it.
Neon is fantastic.
Yeah.
And obviously anything that matches is going to help because you know exactly what color you're looking for, and
Yeah.
you'll see if one person is missing from the group, they'll find you faster because you're all
Yeah, yeah.
matching. But the Neon is great
The flight, everyone's talking about flight attendants. Love it. I don't know why. Okay, wait, I don't know why.
because they lead miserable lives where people treat them like garbage.
I know, but I think it's just so they always comment on it. Always. You board that plane, you look great.
Yeah.
It's great. We need to get you the official clothing of the skies.
Well, I think we could probably reach out to Alaska. And if we made it with like Alaska colors, like their official blue or something,
Yeah, the
or maybe
navy
even a
and
pin that Alaska Airlines employees could wear.
Eats and tweets. You've entered the chat at the perfect opportune time.
Yeah. It
Who
would
do
be
we gotta
cool.
talk to?
Well, remember there was that one person that was tweeting us from Alaska Airlines? and they said you look great
We
on
we
Twitter.
we were on the plane. I forget why we were. We were tweeting about. I think that we were gonna lose our status and not get free chocolate
Whatever it was.
anymore. We were so sad, and they were like, "You look great. Like listen to you on the radio or something." And we were like on the plane, like, "What?"
Yeah. TSA always says you look great back to me. Says life is a hike. That's Larry. Larry's in PA, right? Larry, remind me. I think
No, he's in North Jersey.
North Jersey. Why did I think it was PA? My brain is
Like
all
Hackensack, maybe? Did I make that up?
discombobulated. Oh, I think you're right.
Because he's gone to the bar and seen my nieces.
Maybe Newark. We're just gonna have a conversation about Larry now. That's it. And I apologize for the camera flickering. I don't know what the issue is today. We might have a solution at some point, but Patterson. There it is. Let's see.
You were in in the morning show podcast.
Martha said I wear my drawstring backpack to all my kids' sporting events. And I think to go back to your comment, Carla Marie, about flight attendants, I think one of the reasons they notice it more is when you board a plane, they're sizing everybody up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're there waiting to see, like, all right, is this person giving me a problem? Is this person drunk? Probably is this person a terrorist? Like, they're sizing everybody up. It's their job. Right? When we're all in that tube together, we've got to trust these people have inspected everybody. And I think because it's such a prominent thing on a shirt and they're sizing you up, it's an easy thing to say. Let's see. Oh, Audrey said, I do have to say, I don't get a lot of you look great responses in Europe. Well, maybe you Europeans.
It's because Europeans are, stuck up.
Their shoulders.
Like in movies.
That's the French specifically,
That's
Carla.
true.
Although I will say, when I went to England, they were a little stuck up.
Yeah. They knew you were American.
I think they
They
did.
hate us.
I think they did. The Irish, though, when I was in Dublin, the Irish.
Dublin.
I said Dublin,
Are you
didn't I?
okay today?
I'm not. I am very congested. When I was in Dublin, I don't know why I said Dublin. I felt like I was a rock star.
Well, you probably looked very different than them. It was like Taiwan.
No, there's dark Irish people. They're not all.
Oh,
they're not all leprechauns.
No, I thought when you went to Ireland, you had like long dark hair.
Oh, I did have long. Yeah, my hair was longer at the time. There also was a guy, and I don't know what their relationship was. This is a good transition to Could You Be the Third Wheel? It was me, my friend Greg, and my friend Greg's cousin. We were staying with my friend Greg's cousin in England. She found like $10 flights to go to Ireland, so we went to Dublin for the night. And we ended up at some random bar after we did the Guinness Brewery tour.
Okay.
And we made friends with a guy and a girl. And by the end of the night, the girl was getting a little like touchy-feely, like hanging on my arm and stuff. And I'm pretty sure the guy tried to like offer her to me, but I don't know if they were dating or just friends or family members or what, but it was just a very weird situation. Because he was like, so where you got? He was asking me where we were staying.
Maybe, so they were from Ireland?
Yeah, oh yeah, they were from there.
Maybe that's what they do. They like find, it could be an Irish thing or it could be this is what that couple does. They find tourists.
Maybe.
I mean, that's not a bad relationship. Because that person's going to leave the next day. So you don't have to worry about them.
Well, they did, and he was asking me
You're going to have an open relationship. That's the way to do it.
He was asking me a bunch of questions that were he was either going to kill me, and that's why he was trying to find out like my sleeping situation, or he was trying to pass off this woman to me because he kept telling me that she was interested, blah blah blah, and there's like so. Then he asked where I was staying, how long I'm in town for, what I'm looking to get into that night. It was a bunch of weird questions.
And what happened?
I went back to sleep in the hostel that we were staying in, and then we flew back the next morning at like 7 a.m. So it was interesting, to say the least. Which brings me to our next topic. And remember, you can always call in. The number is 201-305-0894. You can remember that if you're from New Jersey, 201, Miami, 305-0894.
Lunch.
There you go.
I taught you that.
I know. It's a great number, though. I was talking to a friend who will remain nameless at the moment because it is kind of a private conversation. He was explaining how he and this girl that he works with have more than just a work connection.
Okay.
Okay. But nothing's happened yet. She's had this like on and off situation with her man, but I guess
Oh.
they had some drinks the other night, and he asked her kind of what was going on, and she said she's still with her man, but she's trying to convince him, if you will, to open up the relationship. Which, I understand having a discussion about it. I don't know if convincing someone who doesn't want to do that is the right
Yeah, but if
route.
you're this person that your friend who she was
Yeah.
talking to, you're like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna sit here and wait until you decide to be in an open relationship,
So
so I
the-
can have sex with you and not actually have a relationship with you.
So there's a number of ways you can take this. Number one, how would you feel if? And I know people have been sidelined before and things have worked out. People have probably been in this kind of situationship where someone said, you know what, just give me a little bit of time. I need to figure things out with my ex or my current person. And that may have not worked. The new relationship flourishes and they're probably married, having a great time. Right. So one, how do you feel about being put on the sideline like that? Just even if it's momentarily, has that ever happened to you? And B, if someone says, hey, I've talked to my person, they're interested in opening it up so we can have at least a physical relationship.
So the question actually should be, could you be a unicorn?
Either one. Because
So
maybe this starts as a unicorn and then they all live together. I don't know. We've heard a ton of different scenarios. And none of them are right or wrong. They're all personal decisions. And whatever you do with your love life and your private parts is up to you and the people that you consensually do it with. I literally no
Yeah,
judgment
I don't
on
care.
from me, at least.
or here.
Judgy McJudge, sir.
What? I don't care.
Judge Marie
I was
is
the one that got in trouble on the radio because I was like happy for a prostitute.
Let's see. So Claire says, sounds like the making of drama and hurt feelings, which could be very true. But here's where I'll defend the people in unconventional relationships. Let's call it that. I think almost all relationships could be the start of drama and hurt feelings.
I mean, they are.
So what makes this? I mean, are your chances higher because there are more people involved? Maybe. But just because there are more people involved doesn't mean A, it's going to end with drama and hurt feelings. And just
Right.
because there are less people involved doesn't mean it won't either.
It's true. It's true. Obviously, adding more people to anything always is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
So, what is your question?
My question is just, how do you feel, I guess, about this whole scenario? And if there's anyone who would be interested in this, I'd love to just hear, or maybe you've been in a situation like this. Again, I'm not going to say your name when you call. I'll leave that up to you. I'm wearing a shirt. This is no thank you. I didn't realize that. Thank you for pointing that out, Claire. So you can call us up. The number is 201-305-0894. 201-305-0894. What did you put on the screen there, Carl?
Erica said, I do have a friend in a 7-year relationship that's been open for the last 3 years, and they're better and happier than most couples I know.
Yeah. And this is what I want to always convey is, as long as everything is honest and consensual, I don't think there is a wrong relationship. There could be a wrong relationship for a type of person, for you, for me, for whoever, but I don't think in general there's a wrong type of relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever type of relationship you want to be in, you're welcome here. There's a lot of long texts coming through. If you can, probably be easier to call, but we'll try to read all of these. So it's Meg Not Megan said, I was watching an old episode of Vanderpump Rules when Jackson and Kristen slept together. You don't have to put that on hold. Bless you, Carla Marie. Oh, we have a bless you emote. Let's see. Good morning.
Oh, that was my...
Hello? Good morning. Is it working?
I hear...
I heard noises for a little bit, and now I hear nothing.
Person, are you there?
Oh, I heard a hum. Is our mic not going through to this?
Hello?
Oh, there. Hello.
Can you hear us? They can hear us.
Okay. I'm going to hang up for now. That's weird.
Thank you, everybody. Don't put the barf emoji. That's a barf, not a sneeze.
Yeah, we were able to hear some background noises and a sigh. So everyone could hear that person. We could hear them, but I don't know if they could hear us. So let's go to audio settings quickly. That's why. Audio settings got reset for some reason. So I'm going to go here. And now it should work. So if that person would like to call again, 201-305-0894. I apologize for the technical issues. But this is what happens when you engineer, produce, and host a show all at the same time. And you
Did
have a cat.
you put my Love is Blind cup in the dishwasher?
No, I did not.
'Cause the letters are like melting off.
I noticed that they are a little wobbly.
Yeah, I was like, am I okay?
Here we go. Oh, and they hung up. That wasn't us, for the record.
Okay. Not everything has to be blamed on somebody.
What?
Not everything has to be
No,
blamed
but
on
I already made a bunch of mistakes, so I'm just trying to make sure that they're not all on me. All right. Oh, thank you, Jersey Quinn. We are great producers.
of our own show or other people's shows.
Probably both. I mean, we both have been producers of other people's shows, and I think we've been pretty good.
Have you stretched them?
No. Okay, let's focus here. Let's put the cat down for a
Waiting the
second.
call.
We can still continue. We're not going to just wait.
It was the 7th inning stretch.
That is the wrong cat. Is Caroline? Do we have a Caroline emote? We should, right? But back to the topic at hand. Could you be a third wheel? I will go to you first, Carla Marie.
A unicorn is what you're actually asking me.
Either
I need to know.
Well,
Third wheel is just if you and I go out on a date and Jake comes with us.
I think a third wheel in a relationship context is not the main person in the relationship. Like, this couple lives with each other, you don't. This couple goes to
That's a
big.
unicorn.
No, because I think there's
No.
there's differences. Is that just a unicorn?
Maybe there's a pegacorn too. I don't know.
All right, so could you
Could
be
I
a
be?
unicorn?
I think I could. Well, am I gonna
Emotionally, you think you could handle
Am
it?
I gonna be with both of them sexually or just one?
Oh, whatever you want.
I
Whatever
thi-
this made up hypothetical situation is.
I think that if you and I broke up,
Mhm.
I would be like, I don't have the energy to
Okay.
be in another relationship, so I'll just enjoy a little bit of a relationship with some people
It's
and
interesting
then go on my way.
because I do see that side of it. Like, if you aren't ready for your own relationship,
You
or
just
maybe you just don't
crash
want to
other
be in
people.
one, but you can still have that trusting relationship, that trusting and like physical relationship with at least one or two people. Maybe there's a comfort level to that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
A unicorn is someone that it's basically you are the person in the you're the third person in the throuple.
Well, I think we're conflating terms though. A throuple is when all three people are in like a relationship together, right? And I think a throuple is more of like you all have the same type of relationship with one another.
Yes.
I think a unicorn is someone who is normally just in that other relationship for the fun parts. I think there is a distinction between.
A unicorn is a person who is willing to join an existing couple. They may join the couple only for sex, or
Oh.
they may become more involved part of a relationship and spend non-sexual companionship time together too.
Okay. So the Venn diagram, the crossover of the Venn diagram is much larger than I originally thought.
It's showing me a photo of 3 people in bed together.
I mean, okay. A throuple. Okay, so this is from Jersey Quinn. A throuple is 3 equals. Let's see if this works this time. Good morning. What is going on? Now it says allow mic access. What the heck is happening here? All right, you know what? We're going to have to test this all out later. I apologize to the person on the phone. I don't know why it's being weird now.
The term throuple refers to a committed romantic relationship between 3 people. This is different from an open relationship in which 2 people in a relationship have separate relationships outside the primary one.
Okay, gotcha. So the throuple, the pair is doing it with the same person, whatever that relationship is.
Mhm.
In an open relationship, you could go out, do your own thing, and then you come back to one another.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Charity gaming, aren't relationships complicated enough? If the rules are confusing, I couldn't mentally. Well, I think that what most people will tell you is this only works if everything is laid out on the table. Rules, like guidelines, things that are off,
Yes.
that all has to be addressed before you jump into it. Or you at least have to communicate openly while it's happening.
I mean, we've heard it all.
Mhm.
We have had people that would call into our show to talk a dirty little secret that had been in relationships like this for years, and they're happy. At least they say they are. But they're I mean, like, it works for some people. That's why, like, monogamy works for some people, but not for others.
Yep.
Being in a throuple works for some people and not for others.
For the mailman said, getting laid out on the table is part of the fun. Sure it is. But I think that is one of the biggest things, one of my biggest takeaways from Dirty Little Secret. There were two, I guess. One was when you do real Dirty Little Secrets, when people are telling you this thing they've never said to anyone else, maybe never even said it out loud to anyone, there is like a therapeutic sense for them. The other thing that we learned was there are so many different situations that work for different types of people. And as long as you are honest with all of it, as long as everyone knows what's going down, there's no wrong answer to what a relationship could be. Why'd your eyes just get really big? Like you're about to catch a football.
Because there's a message.
Oh, okay.
Your eyes get big when you're about to catch a football?
Yeah, that's how you play defensive back. You watch the eyes of your wide receiver. Depends on the type of coverage you're playing, but when their eyes get big, you know the ball's coming.
I think I just want to make my eyes get big.
It's hard to do that.
It's Meg.Megan said, I had a coworker who was in an open relationship. Their only rule was you couldn't sleep over and had to be home by 5 a.m. When she got pregnant, I wondered if they were worried about who the father was. That confused me.
Well, I would assume if the couple, and listen, this is an assumption. I obviously don't know this couple, but I would assume if the couple was in a situation where they were ready to get pregnant or willing to get pregnant, when the woman in the relationship was out on her own, I'm assuming they would have used protection to avoid a slip up like that. Now it is a big assumption, and that's not 100% foolproof. But I also would assume, again, another big assumption, that you would get that tested at some point.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's not a hard test to do.
Paternity test?
Yeah.
No, but you asked me if I could be the unicorn, and Jen or Lisa said, but would you?
I think.
But that means, are you going to?
What?
You can do it with a dude?
No. I don't think it's going to work. Hold on. Let's do this here.
Perfect time.
Hello.
Saved by the bell.
All right. Don't hang up, person on the phone. I'm going to try to troubleshoot this right now, and I will answer that question in a second. I'm going to go here.
I don't know. I think that humans are not made to be monogamous. I know it sounds crazy. And I don't mean that in also just like you go around banging everybody. I also think that we're living way longer than we were ever expected to. So if you marry someone at 25 and you live to 95, like that's kind of insane to think you're going to be with that one person all those years. I really believe that is absurd to think. I'm not saying you're wrong if you think that. I'm saying I think that's crazy to get married that young and live as long as we're expected to live. When people got married at 20-something back in the 1800s, they were dead by 35.
Sometimes, yes.
Like 40. Like people didn't, like living to 50 was ancient. So I think as our health and changes, I think that society and things around it should also change, but they kind of aren't. Yes, we're obviously seeing more divorces and stuff, but divorce isn't such a bad thing. It's kind of insane to be with someone for that long. And that's my theory on that.
Okay, I have no idea where I'm supposed to find this thing. Your privacy.
All right, this is not what we're going to do right now.
Go to privacy checkup. Oh, I think I found it.
I can still do my TED Talk on relationships.
All right, I'm sorry. We're just not going to be able to figure it out today.
Person on the phone.
They hung up anyway, but I don't know what the heck is going on. And Google like changed the way that I can find things here. So I'll have it fixed by Thursday, and we can jump into this again if we want to open it up to phone calls. But to answer your question and everyone's question, I guess my own question, Carla Marie, would I be open to being the third wheel in a relationship? And I think if I was in a situation, if I found myself in a situation where a woman I was attracted to said, "Hey, I am in a relationship, a loving relationship with this man or this woman, but I do have permission to go have fun on my own." That part, I think I would
I
actually
think you'd be
fine
fine with.
with. I don't know if I could be in an actual like throuple,
Like joining
where,
someone else?
yeah,
Or someone else joining us?
either one. I don't know if I thought I was in like a committed emotional relationship with someone,
Mm,
I would like to think that I'm mature enough to share that attention, but I also don't think that I am. So I
yeah.
don't know if jealousy would. I don't know. I can't say for sure because I've never tried it, but
We can try this weekend. We'll
I
go on a date with somebody.
I think um the concept of the open, somewhat promiscuous, like fun part of it, I think I'd be okay being that third wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to be in the committed part of that relationship.
Yeah.
I guess that is
I
the
agree
easiest
with that.
way for me to answer that. Erica P said, I could do a throuple more easily than I could do open. That is interesting. So an open relationship, you're just letting your person go out there. Obviously, they're communicating in some capacity, but you don't need to know all of the information, right? There is a little bit of mystery there,
Where?
I would assume, in the open relationship.
Yes.
Where, in our situation, we would live together, but if you went out on your own and did something, then,
Crazy.
You do whatever you do. I think the throuple, when everyone's aware of what's going on and they're all doing it together, there's a little bit more control there. There's less mystery, which is maybe why some people would prefer that. I don't know.
What Martha said, what about being swingers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then you're just switching with another couple, right?
I think this is the problem. There are so many different variations to all of these, right?
like
there's
COVID.
a
So many
flavor.
variants.
There's a flavor for everybody. It's like the Baskin Robbins of relationships. How many? There's
31.
what, 30, 31? How come they have a third? Didn't they have a 32 in their logo though?
It was a one.
Oh, I always thought it was 32.
That's the Mandela effect.
Nope, that's just me not remembering properly. I don't think it's the Mandela effect. Let's see. 83 Marie Smith says, "No way I'm sharing my man. I'm smart enough to know that before even trying, I'm not a jealous type, but don't want to share." And this is what we were talking about earlier. That's not a wrong answer either.
No.
Whether someone came in and said, "Me and my partner are open, and we've been that way for 20 years," or if someone said what Marie Smith said, there's no wrong answer.
No.
Whatever works for your relationship works for your relationship. And what other people think of it, as long as you're comfortable, shouldn't really matter. Obviously, there are people that are going to say something is taboo or off limits, but if you're happy, what?
Angela said, this is a weird convo to have when I know my daughter pops in here and listens to your show and engages in this chat.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's not like you said you're swinging.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Or maybe that's why Angela's nervous.
Okay, no. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat.
Let's
Whatever
see. Tacoma
tickles your pickle.
Swifty. Oh, Tacoma Swifty said, "I don't think swingers are a consistent person. Those are events and random people usually." Maybe.
No, but you could find another. What is that if you have another couple that you constantly switch with?
You could. And that's probably safer to an extent, right?
Didn't we have, remember Hale Geen called
Oh,
in?
yeah.
And her husband, her in-laws,
Yeah.
had been swinging with the couple down the street.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think they were swingers, and then her husband found out that while he was growing up, there was like a couple across the street that, they used to swap, party, whatever. I don't know. Whatever the kids are calling it these days, or whatever the grandparents are calling it these days. Do you remember the show Wife Swap, actually? Do you think any of them actually hooked up
No.
on Wife Swap?
No.
You don't think
It was
any
on like
of them?
Lifetime. Or no.
No, not even on the TV show. Like, it's just like behind the scenes.
Was it Molly on Wife Swap?
Oh, she was.
Molly Mesnick.
She was. But was it specifically Bachelor and
I
Bachelorette
think
people?
so.
Teeny79 said, you mean key parties is what they're called.
Well, key parties is when everyone puts their keys, or not everyone. I guess, like, say all the guys put their keys in a fishbowl,
Yeah.
and then all the women pick out a pair of keys, and that's who you go home with. And then, yes, you are swinging in that sense. But there are people that, this couple and that couple, like, if it's, okay, Ricky and her boyfriend AJ, we could, if we just swapped with them,
Yeah.
we'd also be swingers.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are so many scenarios, and the interesting thing is, obviously, like a lot of things have progressed, and a lot of things have become more public and open over the last 10 years or so. And we've been out here in Seattle now for 7 years. So part of that is just the natural progression of things, but the other part of it is when we moved here, those types of ideas, open relationships, commuting relationships, swingers, all of that
Commuting?
type. Yeah, we talked about that on the show. That's when you
yeah,
live in
yeah.
different homes. All the different types of relationships you can have. People talked about that so much more openly here, and obviously we had Dirty Little Secret as well. But I feel like back in New Jersey, no one talked about that stuff.
No.
But here in Washington, it just was a thing that people talked about all the time.
It's because we're hippies here.
It could be.
Free spirits.
It could be.
Teeny said, sorry, I guess I walked in when Anthony asked what kind of parties are those called again, so I answered, no worries.
No, you can always jump in, and we're trying to figure out what's going on in the chat, just like you, if you join late, are trying to figure out what we're talking about.
So Meg said, I saw this new thing where people are putting loofahs on their car to show they're a swinger in the villages in Florida. Who were we talking to about this? They said that loofahs are sold out in Florida.
Yeah.
Was it Scotty B?
No, it was our friend from the Roosevelts, Dustin. When he was out here, because the Roosevelts were out here for a Seattle
And he's
Comic
from
Con.
Florida.
And
he
from
said you
Florida.
can't find loofahs anywhere because
Yep.
people are using them.
I mean, it makes sense. It's very prominent. It seems kind of inconspicuous if you don't know what's going on.
You could just put a pineapple.
But also, that's a big thing to hang from your.
Oh, there's
Is it from
tiny.
your rear view mirror?
There's tiny loofahs.
I feel like you could have picked something else, just like a very specific keychain, like a named keychain.
Yeah, but loofah you get at 89 cents. You're set.
Thank you to Taryn23. Nope. Yeah, Taryn Ray 23 for the subscription with Prime. Appreciate that. There was something else. Oh yeah, pineapple is another thing that people use. It's an upside down pineapple, though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that like the symbol for swingers or open relationships or something?
Yeah, but you have to put it in your grocery cart. And walk around with it.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going to do it to see what happens.
See, Adirondack chairs, I've heard of that too, but those are also just like comfortable outdoor chairs, are they not?
They're not comfortable, actually.
I've always liked them. I have. All the ski resorts I've gone to have had Adirondack chairs outside, and
but
they're
you're
like
into all
comfy.
your ski gear sitting on them. Of course
That's
it's
true.
comfortable. Hold on. We should go to Fred Meyer,
Okay.
walk around together, put an upside-down pineapple in our cart, and see if people look at us. Wouldn't
Sure.
that be a fun video?
Sure. SAH15, thank you very much for the subscription with Prime. That is a good reminder before we get out of here for the day, which we're wrapping up in a couple minutes here.
Oh, W Plants has Adirondack chairs. That's like a thing.
There you go. But there's a lot. There's like Adirondack chairs if you have a white rock in your lawn or like outside your house or by your driveway.
The pineapple.
Isn't a blue light also?
Yeah, and you put on the blue light all the time when Seton Hall's playing.
But it's like it could either be a swinger or Blue Lives Matter. So that's a very confusing message to throw out there. Unless, of course, you're specifically looking for cops to be swingers with.
Wait, everyone keeps bringing up how when we went to dinner with our friends and we left the restaurant and there were Adirondack chairs outside and I yelled, "It must be swingers."
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to text them to let them know I wasn't talking about them.
Yes. Oh, Deep Palm Beach said in our neighborhood, blue lights are for autism awareness. That's also true, especially in April, which is Autism Awareness Month. But there's a lot. And maybe it's just community by community. You know? Like in Florida, they do this. In Seattle, they do this. In Wichita, Kansas, they light 3 candles in their bedroom window. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot.
Okay. We're going to do the pineapple.
Where?
We're going to go walk around Fred Meyer.
I feel like in Seattle, of all places, they're just not going to pay attention. There's so many wacky things you see.
We'll go we'll go early on like a Wednesday morning during the old people time and see if they're like, oh.
Oh, Heather on Long Island said their lights are blue for police, red for fire, and green for military. You know, I saw someone at the gym the other day wearing it looked like a Blue Lives Matter flag on his hat, but it had a green line
So military?
in it. But I don't know if it was military because I've also seen it's for like the Forest Service or something, or for forests in general.
Park rangers?
Maybe. I think we're getting a little
Felipe
crazy
said,
with
doesn't
these.
3 candles in the window mean the British are coming?
That would be 2 if by land. No. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Right?
Or 2 if by land, 1 if by sea.
No, I think it's 1 if by land, 2. I'm going to look it up right now.
Pork ranger friends.
1 if by land. Yeah, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Paul Revere, right? Wasn't that his whole
that's
thing?
a restaurant? In Greenwich Village?
Greenwich Village. Huh. Paul Revere arranged to have a signal lit in the Old North Church. 1 lantern if the British were coming by land, and 2 if they were coming by sea, and began to make preparations for his ride to alert local militias and citizens about the impending attack.
Imagine they could just text each other.
It probably would have gone a lot easier for them. Although then, if you think during the American Revolution that they would have texts, then the British could intercept some of those messages. So spying would have been a thing,
What
although
year was
spying
this?
was a thing anyway.
What year was this? I like to put things on my timeline in my head. What
Well,
year?
1776 was the Declaration of Independence.
What year did the British come?
What do you mean?
1776 they came?
It
No.
was around that time.
Well, I would like to know. That doesn't help my brain timeline.
It might have been 75 because the battles of Lexington and Concord, 75. Bam!
Okay, thank you.
Would you look at that? April 16th, 1775. We're about to celebrate the anniversary of Paul Revere's ride. That will be in nerd news on the 16th. Do we have a show on the 16th?
No.
Damn it.
Because their birthday's the 15th, the cats, and it's Saturday.
Oh, so 16th. Well, then maybe I'll do it on Friday or Monday. But the ride of Paul Revere. So yeah, Paul Revere's ride,
went
the
to his
battles of
house.
Lexington and Concord, they were before the Declaration of Independence.
Well, yeah. Because that's how we got our independence.
No. The
Fighting.
What? Are you
The
just
war,
are
and
you
then
just
we
yelling?
had the conversation
What conversation?
about the Declaration. History with Carla Murray. It's
No,
drunk
please.
history at this point.
Please, no history with Carla Marie.
I went to Paul Revere's house in Boston.
Yes.
It's tiny.
My brother Justin took a very strong stance against Paul Revere and said, man, fuck Paul Revere.
But
And that's
apparently,
because Paul Revere didn't actually finish the ride. His partner in crime, because it was a crime at the time, did.
what was his name?
I don't know.
It was a dentist.
Yeah, Paul Revere was a silversmith, from what I remember. Which, I don't know if that makes you like a jeweler. Because today, if you're a silversmith, you're a jeweler. But back then, you were probably making spoons and stuff, too. So, I don't really know. I don't know.
No, they definitely were eating wooden spoons still.
No, I think they were using metal at this point in their lives.
Mm.
Let's see. Lenny from Queens said, sorry I'm late. Had to catch the train from Barcelona. That's one of those words, though. Even though I know I'm saying it wrong if I say Barcelona, I'm still going to say Barcelona.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran says Barcelona, so I'm sticking with him.
Just what Ed Sheeran does?
Mhm.
Okay. He also speaks in a British accent, Carla Marie. Can you do that? Let's see it.
No.
Let's see your pre-1776 conversation accent.
Conversation.
Okay. What were you talking about, though? Let's go back to that.
The British are coming. Oh no, Christmas Carol just got here.
Yeah, so let's go back.
I was talking about, I don't even remember what I said.
I said that Paul Revere's ride and the battles of Lexington and Concord were
Yeah.
before the Declaration of Independence.
Because the British were invading us and we weren't in America yet.
No, they were here.
Well, they were
Already.
invading us more. They were coming to Boston. Where were they coming from?
Did she just bite you?
Yes.
Why? Oh.
Because I was playing with her feet.
Oh, well, maybe don't do that.
Hold on.
Or it was that accent.
Liney. Then where were the British coming from? You tell me the history.
Okay. So, There was the Stamp Act
I remember this.
and the Tea Act, and there was a lot of
Oh, yeah.
hubbub about
Oh.
taxation without representation.
Boston Tea Party, March
Yes.
5th, 1775.
And because of that, although I think the Tea Act or the Stamp Act, one of the two was repealed before.
Recently?
No, like before the actual war started, the British government was like, all right, no Tea Act or Stamp Act. I forgot which one it was. And then we still went to war.
In 1775.
So there were some skirmishes in 74 and 75. At that point, after the fighting had broken out, the British Army was able to then, I guess, take quarter in homes if they needed to. And that's what really like escalated things. And then we signed the Declaration of Independence. Then the full-on war broke out.
Oh, after.
Yeah. So there was fighting before we declared independence, is what I was trying to say to you earlier.
But I didn't know there was fighting after. With the British.
Yeah, that was the whole revolution was after. Because we declared independence, and then the British were like, no, you're not going to do that. Went to war, and that's what happened.
I have been to the ship in Boston where the Tea Party happened.
Okay.
Everyone's
Is it the actual ship? Is it still there?
Apparently.
I don't believe it.
Justin, fuck off. I was in high school 87 years ago. You think I remember this shit?
But was Paul Revere the third wheel? I mean, it was him, his partner, and they had some horses. I guess I graduated. You know what's funny, though, is I think I learned a lot of this stuff after high school.
I don't remember
After
any.
school.
All I remember is the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Although, I will say my recollection of American history specifically, all the other stuff I've learned in life was basically after school. But for whatever reason, Paul Revere was something I remember from like fifth grade.
Yeah.
Because I think I did a research report on Paul Revere and on the Boston Tea Party. Because at the time, if you remember all the way back in like ancient times, the Snapple bottle used to have
all the facts.
No, not the facts. Before the facts. Snapple used to have a painting of the Boston Tea Party as their label.
Vaguely remember that.
Let me pull that up for a second.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Boston Tea Party. Snapple.
If you quizzed average Americans on this, no one would get it right.
I agree.
Not one single person. We should do it.
Here we go. On Flickr. Thank you, Flickr. Let me pull this up on the screen. Give me one moment.
Whoa. I do remember this.
There we go.
I don't think I was cool enough to drink Snapple yet.
Let's see if I can zoom in on this, maybe. How do I do that? Oh, some peppers. There we go.
What?
I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, that's the Boston Tea Party. That's Boston Harbor. It's the whole thing. And that Snapple bottle is what made me so interested in the
so
Boston Tea
interesting.
Party. Yeah. So, would you look at that?
But we're all so good we know Gwyneth Paltrow court case. Yeah, that's true.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Let's see. That would be Nick NYC.
Yeah, I could tell you everything about that. Johnny Depp.
And listen, that's also interesting,
Yeah.
and it's current.
Yeah.
I get it. I think you can learn both. One of the things we wanted to do with the Morning Show podcast was start a segment called, it would be like back to school or schools in session, something like that. And every day, it's, I guess, similar to Nerd News, but something that you probably should have retained from school and most likely didn't, like the Pythagorean theorem or something like that. Or just what is the theory of relativity? We hear it all the time.
Well, the idea that I wanted to do was we have actual elementary school teachers come on and almost give us like what their test was for that week.
Yeah. Well, it's just what their subject is that week. Yeah.
I think we should do that.
Something we'll figure it out. Did everyone do their taxes? Great question, Martha. Carla Marie?
Nope.
No, we extended.
Well, the business is done.
Let's see. This is a message from Mergen said, if you want some quick, easy podcast to listen to that talk about history, History Daily. Why won't this show up on the screen? Oh, there we go. History Daily from Wondery is fantastic, and you learn something that happens on this day in history, Monday through Friday. American History Tellers is also great, hosted by the same person. There we go.
Lisa said, maybe I stopped worrying about history since we have to live through so much shit.
There is a lot of like important stuff that we're learning now or living through now. And there's only so much space our brains have for all of that kind of knowledge. And then on top of it, when you are unmarried or without children, there is a freedom you have to spend time learning or relearning things.
I think when you have kids, you also learn and relearn because then they're
It's
learning
different
it.
though, because you're also trying to keep those things alive. And like that takes up most of your time. Just making sure your kids aren't running through traffic and they're eating and you're paying for all the crap that they need. That takes up a lot of your time. If you can learn along with your kids, that's great, I guess, until you have to do core math or whatever.
Math now is so different. It's so different.
Or long division.
It's so different now, and even our parents, when we were doing it, were like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And now it's like absurd.
Yeah. A great question from Sunali. Why learn about history when we're just repeating it? Bam.
Facts.
Some would say to avoid repeating it, but that apparently hasn't gone over very well. Carla Marie, it's time for us to get out of here. We talked about vagina medicines, relationships,
Paul
Revere,
Boston Tea Party.
We've been all over the place today. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We do have a one-day break from this show on Twitch, but there is a brand new episode of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you listen to podcasts. So go learn some things. Go learn about the history that we're living today with the Core 4.
Yep.
Or a new shape that Carla Marie talks about in Nerd News.
Pretty
All
cool.
of those things are there for you, and we will have an episode every day this week, as we always do. Thank you for the support. Peace out.